Alright everybody, time to battle with our sweet Illusion deck. Illusion with Fel Splash that we just drafted. Let's see how we're doing. This is an okay hand, given that the Hurler gives us something against a 1 or 2 drop potentially, and Tower Top Patrol into Hurler locks up the board pretty well, so I like it. And we have Dispel to shut down annoying stuff like, I don't know, Less Rare Ranger on turn 2 because we're on the play. Just get to silence it before it grows. This is a welcome draw with our turn 4 Tower Top Patrol. Or it just gets torched. That's okay too. Not gonna kill that with our Snowball, just gonna ignore it. We could have silenced it to just deny the opponent the card, but I think we're gonna have better uses for our Dispel, and since we have a 4 and a 5 drop and the power to play them, we don't really need to cycle to hit a power drop, for example. If we would miss like a 4 drop or Force Power, for example, or maybe our our fifth, then I might have Dispel just for the sake of that. That is pretty impressive, I would say. I think we're gonna silence that. Control C. I think the life gain actually doesn't matter as much. So I'm inclined to just Hurler here, and next turn like Dune Phantom Dispel in one turn to try and like let this run itself to death into your turn Hurler depending on what the opponent has, and bait out any potential tricks. So is there anything he can punish us for like double blocking? I think double blocking is good against +3/+run Overwhelm Rampage to not take 2 extra damage, so I'll just double block here, I think, since there's not really any way for him to punish us for double blocking. Yep. That is the Xenon Destroyer being too reckless. Ah, I see what he's gonna do. Is finish it off that way. Not bad. Alright, so I think what we want to be doing here is silence this. Ooh, that's a great draw. So we just can give this endurance, kill his weapon, and stall the 5/2. That's pretty perfect. That was an awesome draw. 2/6 flying endurance is a pretty great deal. That seems ambitious, but am I willing to find out? I think I'm willing to find out at 12 health. I don't really feel like going to 7 against Stone Scar. And yeah, if he Rampages there, that's okay. We still have a blocker lined up for next turn. Xenon Destroyer, sure. Does not bother us too much. If only we had one more power to give it +1/+1 in flying. I guess it's still correct to play it, to just let the Destroyer run itself to death again and go to 5. And then lock up the board, probably with like endurance on our Reinhardt. That sucks. Good that we have Dune Phantom, I guess. So can't really do much here, other than like give this guy endurance and hope to find a way to shut down the Reaper long term, because as soon as the opponent draws a removal, we're just gonna lose to the Reaper. Really need to find a way to shut it down. We unfortunately already spent our Dispel, so I'm not even sure if we have anything that stops it. Gonna have to trade here now, unfortunately. but not much we can do about that. We are kind of bound to lose the game against Reaper now, which is very unfortunate. Because he will eventually draw a way to kill the Reaper, and I think we have 0 ways in our deck to gain 1 life, 1 or more life, or shut down the Reaper without being punished for it. That's such a weird attack. Guess he found a removal. So yeah, now we're just dead. That's very sad. So close, yet so far. Alright, 0-1. Next game. I mean, don't think we could really afford not to go to 5 there. Especially since on 5 it's Reaper, on 6 it's Obliterate, so there's a bunch of things at this point that if the opponent has them, we just lose to Flame Blast. I don't think we can really avoid it in such a situation when we are under pressure. Maybe I should have wasted resources more aggressively to preserve some life total, not sure. Hard to tell. Felt like we maneuvered that game fairly well until we died, so maybe it just was bound to happen, or maybe I didn't play conservative enough. It's always good to at least like question your decisions in games that you didn't lose super decisively, where you had alternative options like trading more aggressively and stuff. So here I'm not gonna suffocate yet, just run out that guy and I think we want the second time. Since Striking Snake formation costs double time, and I think we don't have a double primer card in our deck, if I'm not mistaken. Pooh. That's kind of annoying. Guess we kind of just jump here. And then Dune Phantom next turn. I guess we got punished for not suffocating, but oh well. Let's hope he doesn't have a way to finish off the Phantom. Interesting. Not sure why he's not attacking there. Not sure what he's scared of from our colors. But that's okay. I think... Nah, we don't really need to suffocate anymore. Though I think we just drop another save blocker against those shenanigans and pass. Just want to wall ourselves off against these two and make sure that that doesn't go out of hand. I think I'm also gonna double block against Rampage once again. So since I really don't want him to have a 6-5, that makes blocking a lot harder. Yeah, now he's gonna finish that off. That's okay. It's also a lot better if he finishes that off, because then he's losing his weapon, rather than if he finishes this off. Okay, so what do we want to do here? I think play this guy. Probably suffocate this guy and attack for 2 seems like a valid option. And once we get to 5 we can drop some beefy stuff and start attacking in the air with the help of Windchaper. Jeez, that is annoying. think I'll want to jump block here and hope that we draw a power to get this to 0-7. That's the plan here, I think. That plan did not seem to work out. So I guess we have to hatchling then. Up, hatchling, and kill this guy. I'll probably be jump blocking with this, but not sure. Yeah, I think that's a better jump block given that we have a Wind Shaper in hand. Jeez, we are so screwed. So screwed. Ashara is pretty problematic if we don't find a removal for her. Not like this guy isn't problematic already. And he's war crying for 1 each turn, which makes it worth. Throwing away our hatchlings doesn't really help. At least we finally can play Wind Shaper and even have a second one, that's nice. But probably not nice enough, we'll see. Nope, not nice enough. We are dead here. Jeez, what's with these Stone Scar decks crushing us? Absurd. This is the worst going draft I've recorded so far. But yeah, sometimes that happens. And I mean, it's not like our deck is bad. I think our deck is pretty solid. Should be like a 7 or 8 out of 10, probably. Like a rock solid deck, not a monster, but one that should potentially be capable of 7 wins. But we'll see if we end up going 0-3 with it, regardless, because we get stumped by crazy, powerful Ray Aladdin Stone Scar decks. That's a pretty good keep. Aside from not having anything to go with this yet, but we'll get there, we'll get there. No Stone Scar. That's good. That's good news. And nice, we have the combo. 3 power, killed something big. I think that is probably big enough to kill. Plus it helps us to find the force power for our Serpent Trainer. But yeah, I think I'll rather do that than mentor. We can still mentor next turn. And delay the Serpent Trainer turn. Especially if we draw another 4-drop next turn, that would be sweet. Nope, no 4-drop. But a 4/4 Serpent Trainer is pretty good stuff. Okay. Double block here, hope he doesn't have Finest Hour. Because otherwise I think we're getting under too much pressure if we don't block here. And then we just Serpent Trainer and hope to get on the offense ourselves. And yeah, that's why I didn't play Reinhardt, because chances are with 4-hand cards he probably has like another power, and then we look really stupid for playing the Reinhardt that can't block. I'd rather get my Serpent Trainer online to start racing. Hope to like get somewhere. And now we can like triple block the student if we want to or need to. Plus we stall the sentry. 6-9, yeah, we can still gang block so he is not attacking. And we just drop these and race back. So yeah, the Serpent Trainer might help us ride that game to victory now. Jeez, that's powerful. But we have a lot of jump blockers, so don't really care. 11. I mean, we can still block here, but I'd rather just block here and let that one slide. I mean, there's not really anything to give Overwhelm in this faction. So I think I don't want to jump block. Don't think we're at risk at dying at 16 here. And next turn we have a bunch of jump blockers to make sure that we not lose, and having a redundant attacker in the air definitely helps. Alright, so I think jumping that Reinhardt is potentially nice. Now we just get to attack for a bunch. That should do it. Even if he has a way to give this Overwhelm. Since we have 9-17 against Overwhelm and he has like 11 or 12. Yep, we got it. Nice. Sweet. Finally. No 0-3 with a good deck. I mean, that can always happen, yeah. There's variance in this game and you can sometimes just get unlucky and lose. I'm pretty excited for the upcoming Jack's Bounty and well set up with the 65k gold that I'm currently having, so can't wait for the first Eternal Adventure and a bunch of new cards. So that's gonna be pretty nice. That's a mediocre hand, but we have Dispel to draw into something and Suffocate to keep us afloat early on. Another Magic player, Elesh Norn. So many Magic players. So many people with like Magic card names as their nicknames. I think there's someone called Kitchen Finks or something similar. Elesh Norn, Mind Twist, and so on and so forth. I'm gonna silence this to shut down his acceleration. No need to suffocate it, since the body is irrelevant, so we rather suffocate like a real body. And that's good dispel value to dispel in Initiative of Descent, I think. Yep, and there we go for Serpent Trainer. And we even have Suffocate and Accelerated Evolutions to make sure he connects next turn, or the opponent can only jump block if he plays his own flyer. Let's see what he's got. Let's hope he doesn't silence this or kill it. Longsword, I guess now we're gonna Suffocate next turn. Get rid of this guy. Boom. Teleport. Yes, that happens. Okay, we just play a hatchling and hold back on our Amber Monument, I think, since 4 power is enough right now, and if we draw the 5ths, we don't really want this to be our 6th and rather help us overwhelm our opponent, I think. Nature's Mentor. Good that we have levitate to make sure that Violent Gust kills some of the stuff that comes out of this mentor. And it's nice to know that Accelerated Evolution at worst can help us enable a Violent Gust if we really desperately need to, so not bad. Yeah, I think just attack like this, drop Reinhardt, and then protect it with like Accelerated Evolution stuff. That should win us the game pretty quickly. That's beefy. Beefier than our Violent Gust can take. So I guess we take to the air. And yeah, just take to the air some more. This guy to block that so we don't get raised, and then just win next turn. Chances are he can't really stop that. Also because we have a removal for a flyer and an Accelerated Evolution. Yep, he's dead. Sweet. Alright, that's the first 4 games. It's the first half of the video series. I think I'm gonna cut it here, since at best it's gonna be 4 games in this video, at worst it's gonna be 4 in this and 5 in the next, and at best the next video is gonna end after like 1 or 2 games if we take another loss. So see you in a moment with the second half of this draft.